Welcome back. In this video, I will tell you about very expensive and rare coins from France. Number 1 is Louis XIII Gold Early Red Strike, 10 Louis, Dior 1640 AMS61 by NGC. This coin was made in Paris Mint and the weight is 67.11 gram. This coin was sold for $456,000. Well, an impressive coin and a true testament to the opulence of the mid-17th century France. It is the largest denomination ever produced in the kingdom, and specimens such as this were hardly intended for common circulation, but rather would have been used as royal gambling pieces meant to signify one's winning and the ability to push even more across the table. While the question of race strikes has long been a subject of contention within this series, but it has suggested that it had been produced 2 centuries later during the reign of Napoleon III. Now, the standard catalogue of the world coins notes that such race strikes were produced around 1950, though it is suspected that they may well be an error for 1850. That said, the present coin notably carries the same diagnostic die crack that extend from the king's shoulder up to his cheek, as is seen on the plate coins in both Friedberg and Cadore, and it is noticeably very expensive. Number 2 coin is Napoleon III Gold Proof SI 100 francs 1862 PR65 Cameo by NGC. Well, it is typed with E above BARRE and it is having plain edge. Well, this coin was sold for $288,000. A hauntingly attractive gem representative of the Napoleonic III 100 franc series, struck with an E for SI upon the obverse below the Napoleon bust. Well, the series remained both highly popular and widely recognized by the collectors, with the 20, 50 and 100 francs of the 1860s bearing nearly identical design and bordering on the universal appeal of such issue as the British sovereign, which similarly remains to go to die for both numismatic and bullion collectors. Well, proofs, however, are a different story, being nowhere near as attainable as examples of the regular circulation 100 franc series. This coin takes the intrigue and desirability endangered by its type to further highlights by virtue of its stunning gem preservation. The sharp device frosted and firmly in mirror replicants to yield a cameo. With only 3 examples certified by NGC, it is also a very expensive. Number 3 is Louis XIV Gold SI 2 effigies ECU NT 1643 MS62 grade by NGC, and this coin was made in Paris Mint. Weight is 32.30 gram and it is by Jean Warren, sold for $288,000 United States dollar in auction. Well, it is an extremely rare SI type featuring the laureate effigies of both Louis XIII and Louis XIV. Produced in the style of the portrait engraving used Warren on coinage of the former ruler beginning in 1640 and the later beginning in 1643, when following the death of his father, Louis XIV attended to throne as the age of 4. Here the young Sun King is rendered in elegant detail opposite his father, while the slightly smaller portrait size serves to highlight the king's youth. The similarities in style and preservation seen upon both the faces, and this may be viewed as an indication that he is nonetheless deserving of the same degree of adoration and respect. It may be inferred that this issue was designed to commemorate the transfer of power from Louis XIII to his son, and perhaps was issued shortly after the death of the former or perhaps even shortly prior. Now, number 4 is Republic Gold Proof SI 100 francs 1878 PR66 Cameo by NGC. Well, this coin was sold for $264,000. It is a large characters variety. Well, this coin is Republic Gold Proof SI 100 francs 1878 PR66 Cameo by NGC. It is large characters variety, and this coin was sold for $264,000. It is an incredible rarity both in terms of its type and certified condition. This immaculate 100 francs SI easily pushes past any reasonable limit of preservation for the issue to attain the title of finest certified across both major grading services. Even a cursory inspection reveals that this honor is well deserved. Awe-inspiring brilliance careens over the surface, and this is with ease and grace, tempered only in its intensity by a delicate surface tone that speaks to a level of originality that can be expected of a few coins nearly 150 years in age. While every feature rises in near metallic proportion, the serene fields contrasting against the background by virtue of a gentle golden frost that extend to all surface. Well, this is Napoleon III Gold 100 francs 1870A, AU53 by NGC, and this was sold for $192,000. At first glance, the reported mintage of this L'Oreal Head 100 francs at 10,460 pieces appears comparably sizable among its peers in this highly revered series. However, the ruinous end of the Emperor's reign in the Franco-Prussia War meant that France had to pay an enormous indemnity to Prussia. The exact amount was set by the Treaty of Frankfurt, whereby France was obligated to pay a war indemnity of 5 billion francs. The requirement led to most of this final year issue being sent to Prussia in reparations and subsequently melted there. Much later recognized as a rarity, it is plausible that the few survivors escaped into the circulation, as nearly all show some degree of wear from the handling. The present example, like most of the dozen or less known to exist, admits isolated instances of contact, notably on the emperor's neck and in front of his bust. Yet it maintains a distinguishable aura as all the struck motifs remain bold and fully detailed. The surfaces are largely bold. Well, this coin is Charles X Gold Proof SI 100 francs NT 1824A, PR64 Ultra Cameo by NGC, and the coin was minted in Paris Mint. Well, it is a raised edge lettering and it is by Julier, and it was sold for $180,000. A wondrous SI that couples the rarity of its type with the striking presentation of a proof format to a combined effect that is the envy of the vast majority of the coinage within the expensive and encompassing French series, alternatively attributed to either 1824 or 1830. What most immediately strikes the beholder of this entrancing pattern is its captivating cameo contrast. A thick veil of golden frost embellishes the raised feature, which appears satiny and eye-catching from any viewing angle, while the exacting standard of the proof strike provides a level of expression and detail that leaves a lasting impression. If this were not enough, a subtle yet impactful honeyed tone lies gently over the surfaces, confirming the originality of the piece and further contributing to a marked eye appeal that remains unencumbered by any noteworthy instances of handling. Certainly, this coin doubtlessly serves as one of the numerous highlights of the French series contained within this collection. So this is Charles X Gold Proof SI 100 francs NT, issued in 1824, a PR64 grade by NGC, PR64 Ultra Cameo grade. And this coin was minted in Paris. KM is UNL, MEZ is 886R5, and VG number is 2670, and it is attributed to 830. It has raised edge lettering and it is by Duelier, and this coin was sold for $180,000. I hope you liked my video. Thank you and subscribe to the channel and keep visiting and watching the videos.